हेलो।
अब इसमें आएगा।
हेलो। हेलो।
आपके लिंक में आप
हेलो।
ये वीडियो बंद कर रखा आपने अभी। हाँ
चला ठीक, वो सारे लोग सब जॉइंट है ना। हेलो, मेरी आवाज आ रही है? हेलो। यू आर ऑडिबल। अभी कृति मैम, यू आर ऑडिबल। थैंक यू खुशबू।
आ रही है आवाज आ रही है, बिल्कुल आ रही है।
ओके सर, ओके, थैंक यू सर।
to be in touch with you all the time, and you are so generous and kind with us. You always agree to share your experience with our students. Not only students, but we all get enlightened by your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is a golden opportunity. We could connect with you. We were having a discussion one day in the alumni committee meeting. Why shouldn't we talk to our senior alumni who are doing wonders, who are contributing in a big way, not only to the corporate but the society also. So if they connect with them, it is going to help our students also how to combat this difficult situation. You must also have made some strategies, say, to combat this pandemic situation, and your sharing of experience with our student will definitely going to benefit them. So once again, my hearty welcome to you, and please, the podium is all yours. This meeting is all yours now. Thank you. I salute you for your spirit.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thomas. So I'm Mr. Bharat and everybody. How are you?
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Good, thanks. Thank you. And so, Dr. Thomas, shall I just start or?
Can I have a permission to just let your brief profile to know all the participants about what your background is all about?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is needed.
Just
It
few
is
words.
needed.
Just few words.
Yes, yes.
So
Please
as
go ahead.
you all have been introduced, that our first speaker is Mr. Bharat Soni. He is Chief Information Security Officer and Group Head of Information Security in Guarantee Trust Bank, Nigeria. He has over 31 years of experience, and he has come up as a cybersecurity risk management professional. His working style reflections includes implementation of governance, risk, and compliance in complex environments. He has come up with various beneficial business initiatives and solutions. So I'm very eager to invite Mr. Soni to share his
To be
journey
in
from
touch with
being
you
a
all the
student
time.
of SVIM now to
And you
where
are
he
so
is today.
generous and kind
Over to you, sir, now.
with us. You always
Thank you so
agree
much.
to
So first of all,
share
on the
your
outset,
experience with our
what I would like
students.
to
Not
do
only
is,
students, but we all get
I would like to first
enlightened by
thank the
your
management
thoughts.
of SVIM,
Thank you.
the
Thank
core
you.
committee, the
This is
organizing
a golden
committee
opportunity. We
for
could
coming up with
connect with
this
you. We were having a
Samavish
discussion
initiative, I
one
would
day
say. When
in
I was
the
discussing
alumni
with
committee meeting.
Dr. Namrata,
Why
and
shouldn't we
having a
talk to
chat,
our
and she
senior
mentioned that
alumni who
this
are
is something
doing
which
wonders, who are
I would say
contributing in a
my
big
college,
way, not
I
only to
still
the
refer to
corporate
it
but
as
the
my
society
college,
also.
even after these long years.
So if they
Coming up
connect
with this
with
kind
them,
of initiative.
it is going to help
I
our
was
students
so
also how to combat this
engaged
difficult
with
situation.
Madam to
You
say
must
that yes,
also have
I will be
made some
there for
strategies
contributing
to
based on my
combat this
experience,
pandemic
my
situation,
exposure, what I have
and
learned
your
throughout my life,
sharing
my
of experience with our
coming out of the
student will
college and
definitely
everything.
going to benefit
So it's an
them.
excellent way to
So once
connect
again,
between
my hearty
the
welcome to you,
teachers, the
and
college. I would still say
please,
college is still
the podium
it's
is
still a
all yours.
home for me.
This meeting
To
is all
connect
yours
between the
now.
teachers, college, the
Thank you.
alumni,
I
and
salute you for
the
your
new
spirit.
generation of obviously the new
Thank
generation
you.
of
Thank you,
leaders.
Dr. Thomas. So
It's a good initiative, madam.
I'm
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate the efforts of everyone over here to get this thing starting. And I believe this will go on and will definitely going to help the upcoming students for every batch. In fact, I can see Petankar madam over here. I can see Chatterjee sir over here. So it's a good nostalgic feeling, sir and madam. Thank you so much. I can see you guys over here. Long time, sir, madam. I met madam like 3 years back. Petankar madam, I met 3 years back. But Chatterjee sir, I have seen only after almost like 20 years back. It's a nostalgic feeling, sir.
Yeah, very true.
Yes,
very
yes,
true.
same here,
It
Bharat.
has been a
Same.
long, yes, yes.
Yes, madam. So I don't know where should I start. Like you know, what actually you want me to share is if I tell you from my own experience and exposure, how what you call is my journey from my college till this point of time. There are too many incidents or good memories I still have in my mind. So for the sake of just getting started, I passed out my MCM in 2001. In 2001 from our STM college, and that was the year when that's where there was. I was actually working in a consultancy firm while I joined the college. So, but that the ground which I get from the SVIM was a very big moral boost and a professional boost for me, because I was working in some local firms in Indore. But when I got this platform, when I was in the final year of SVIM, I got some kind of, like, the last 6 months of my final years were to do a project. So I went out and started looking for a project initiatives where I can get into. So even at the first instance itself, I will tell you that my first opportunity itself was Hindustan Times newspaper, which started at that point of time in Indore, and that where it hit me. I went over there for a marketing executive interview. When I was there, so the branch at that point of time saw my CV and they said, okay, the first thing first, he quoted me, oh, so you are from Vaishnav Institute. I said, yes, sir, I am from Vaishnav Institute. And that gives me that kind of proud moment, because you are a fresher at that point of time. And when someone mentions your college, that means you are coming from a very good academic background. That gives you at least not at par, but gives you a boost up in your career as well. That yes, they recognize you and your college both at the same time. So from there, the journey actually started from me as a big corporate jobs and everything. I got. He asked me why you are coming from marketing. Why don't you look for technology? You also have an opening for technology. I said, fine, I will accept those things as well, because I'm open. So I'm open for both the things. I can do marketing because that's what I have in my course curriculum, that I've been learned to do marketing. I can do business analytics. I can even go with finance. I can even go with technology. So that's what I can do from this point onwards. He said, okay, fine, let's try you for technology. Since that point of time, I have been working in almost all aspects of technology. I did coding. I worked on server admin part. I did network administration. I did information security. Now, typically, after going all through these things, I'm right now into risk management portfolios. So when we say risk management, it includes at least my 70% of the job function relates towards technology risk, which we call, like, malicious hackers should not get inside my network, in a layman's language, if I want to put it like that. However, the remaining 30% still goes to understand the business requirement, to give business or at the time of initiative a business thought process, that whether there is a risk or what kind of risk they can envisage when they are moving ahead with a concept for getting into, maybe because I'm into bank, so I always get ideas or the business initiatives where how to acquire customers, how to reach to the last level of the economic leg. So these kind of things I always get and sit with the business, and that's how I'm here now. So for me, it's a very good long journey, and I learned a lot. Obviously, it gives my college background definitely gives me a good understanding of things. So that's it. I would say from a professional perspective.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope your journey that you have discussed with our participants would, of course, help them understand that this is a start of their life journey now, after they pursue their graduation, post-graduation from here. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to introduce our second guest for this session, that is Mr. Vishal Trivedi. He's an insurance professional, and he has pursued BBA and MBA both from SVIM. And after that, he has gone for MA in International Business from University of Westminster, UK, and MSc in Economics and Marketing from University of Reading, UK. Presently, he's a certified health insurance specialist and chartered life underwriter with 15 years of experience, and is running his own insurance brokerage in Toronto, Canada. So now I invite Mr. Vishal Trivedi to share his experience with our participants.
Thank you, Khushbu, and
Welcome.
good evening to everybody there. I'd like to thank Dr. Thomas and Namrata Soniji and Chatterjee professor also. After a long time, I'm seeing him there. Thank you all for having me here. And it's always pleasure to talk to, our alumni, friends and professors back home and on our Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management. When I was hearing Bharat, going back to all those nostalgic feelings, because your roots are there. Even you are abroad, you are, out of country, but the values you got from the Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, your hometown, your country, it always stays with you. What I can say about Vaishnav Institute and its professor is what we learn, we always cherish it with us. We always keep it because it's a foundation for us. And anybody who is listening to me as a student, I always tell them that when you are in any institute or class or school or college or university, what you observe, and you observe your professors, and they are the foundation of your thought process. They are the foundation. They're creating a foundation for your thought process where you learn certain things, certain skills. And for sure, you learn from books also. So my journey with swim was amazing. Started in 90s and 97, 98, finished my bachelor's. We had amazing professors that time, Dr. Chandresh Agrawal, Seema Singh, Zokarkar madam, Mr. Shah was in computers, and many more. And we still remember them. And what teaching we got from them today, we always have it. And I always advise all the students that please follow these teachers, respect them, make them role models, because these are the people who you learn and who you will remember all your life. So love, respect is very important for them. And we are coming from a society from India where Guru is everything. So when you put all those love and affection and value in that relationship, you get more than what you want. Because every student need encouragement, every student needs support, every student need moral support, and those things you can get from your teacher. You don't get them from books. So books as one part, or knowledge is one part of your learning, but the most important part, I would say, is the interaction between your teacher, interaction from your professors who give you the value and the vast knowledge they have. Because you're fresher, you're just joined the college, you're excited about your life, but if those guys can give you 20-30 years of experience, just take it. It's free, and there's no price for it. So I'm very thankful for swim, and it's always pleasure. We are always there to guide, share our experience, and even take guidance from you all again, because this is journey and we are always learning, and we are not pro. So we can always come back to Dr. Thomas and Chatterjee, Professor Chatterjee, and many more for their guidance, because we are not complete. And the knowledge you have, we can always come back and take your guidance. So it's mutual sharing of knowledge and experience, but we are always thankful as alumni that we got opportunity to explore ourselves at Vaishnav Institute and to become somebody to give back society back here in Canada or back home in India. Because end of the day, what I'm learning is giving back, creating value through our services, through friendship, relationship, and that's all. So it's amazing. And if I go back to my education background, I did a few degrees and bachelors, and yes, it gave me knowledge in certain subjects. But what I learned, the most important thing is it's the value you take from back home, from your family, from your institute. And it makes you whole. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, Khushbu.
Thank you so much, sir. I really feel that the insights that you shared would help our participants to look for good opportunities in future, and also you inspired them to believe in their roots and their values. So they should always carry this with them. Thank you so much, sir, for that.
Pleasure.
Now I hand over the session to Dr. Abhikriti Shukla ma'am for the question and answer session.
Thank you, Khushbu ma'am. Good evening to all. I, Dr. Abhikriti Shukla, moderator for today's session of Samavesh, sharing wisdom for nurturing values and skills, is privileged to get an opportunity for moderating this informative session with our esteemed guests and proud alumni, Mr. Bharat Soni and Mr. Vishal Trivedi. Welcome, Bharat sir. Welcome, Vishal sir. In the series of questions, I would like to begin with Bharat sir. Sir, I would like to ask you that from your experience, what is the contribution of alma mater in the personality grooming of an individual? Bharat sir.
Thank you so much, madam. Where should I start? Because it's like, it's something which is based on my own experience with my college and things. So when you ask the contribution of alma mater in my personality grooming, I would say that there are two critical aspects where I think the alma mater contributes immensely to the development of individual. Aside from the curriculum or the subject field initiative, one is the role in which they develop and refine critical thinking practically implement those things, those soft skills into your life. You can gain via active collaboration, mentorship from a professor, from a peer group, networking activities which happens, and then it's just a process where I would say it's not one or the other thing. To further understand this, because I believe we have too many upcoming leaders over here who are also listening to those final year students of the graduation or the post-graduation student. Let's take an example that, for example, a student, maybe I will interchangeably using he and she, not to be specific to a gender, but for example, maybe a student is graduating from a master's class or a PG course. Now, once you're into the final year, you have certain kind of roles and goals set for your life, maybe to the next 5 years or 10 years. You will get a job, you may get a house, you'll get married, you will start a family, you will get a car, and all those kind of things. That's your planning for the future coming out from your studies. Like, from studies, like I did my first masters from SVIM, and I had my own set of plan that within the 5 years where I want to be from after I pass SVIM. So that is one aspect of thing when the student has individually deciding on things. But when we talk about alma mater, then there is another aspect to it, because it's not one side of the story. The second thing is that required for me to achieve my plans and goals are to be achieved through collaborative and partnership or mentorship initiatives from my college. My professors will help me. Maybe I need to be open with my professors and discuss with them that, okay, sir or madam, I have this kind of plan. How you can help me out? Can you guide me whether this plan is achievable, feasible? And then it's like, my proper skill set. Sometimes we see ourselves as 100% correct, but when you have an independent eye, maybe a professor who can tell you that yes, you are lacking in these kind of personality development skills, then we need to improvise on those kind of skills. It's not a matter of getting a, sometimes students think that professors are giving them a negative feedback, and it's a practical human approach. I can tell you now, you eventually, when you travel the journey of life, you will understand that those advices which at that point of time you feel were negative are helping you out in grooming you as a person outside into your career, your personal, professional life, both. So this is a handshaking between individual or a student and the college or the alma mater for the sake of discussion. It's like, even after I, for example, if I am out of my college, I will still want to receive, I will still want to receive advices from my professor. I will go and maybe seek advices. Okay, at this point of my professional, I am facing this kind of challenges. This is my journey now, and I'm facing this kind of challenges. Can you advise me why I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right over here? How can I improvise within my professional environment? What are the new responsibilities I should take? What are the new challenges which I can face into my life? So, and even connecting to my college, I will receive my maybe information newsletters. Maybe I will have some volunteer opportunities to go back and seek into my college that, okay, the same thing what we are doing right now, that I'm giving my experience back to my college and the upcoming students. So, and then obviously, once this kind of relationship is established with between the students and the college, it gives a moral and social, economical, and professional boost up, and also it keeps the college flag very high. That yes, that as I mentioned, that the first question the person asked me, oh, so you are from SVIM? I said yes, and that was the moment when I was feeling proud to be part of SVIM, that my decision is right. So this is what my this thing. It's both the college and the students combined responsibility for personality grooming, and both have to come up with their own side of the story. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat sir. Vishal sir, what do you think about the contribution of alma mater in the personality grooming of an individual?
I always believe any place you be in there, it has a big impact on your memory and your learning process. And especially when you talk about school, colleges, they are the place where you spend a lot of your time. So majority of your time is spent at your family home or your college or university or school. So your personality is a sum of all those values and learning and experiences, what you got from there. So whatever I'm today is the teaching I got from my family, the values I have from my family, my upbringing, and same time, my education, which institute I went to. Now, the role of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management or any college is very important in upbringing of any student, or even a professor also, or a teacher also, or a dean also. The reason is because you are surrounding yourself with those people who are contributing in your thought process, where you are you're in a process where you're learning and you are creating your goals, you are ambitious. Now, how it can help, it comes to philosophy, like what philosophy SWIM is following, what skill set I learned from there. So when I was at Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, the one thing I noticed myself in those bachelor's year, bachelor degree time period, that we were like a family. We were excited, teachers were like our family. And that gives us a lot of encouragement. So the role of institute is very important because it becomes your another home where you are grooming yourself for future. And as Bharat said, the teachers, when they advise you, yes, sometimes it comes, that, okay, we were looking for something and that it came out like a different type of, statement or a criticism. But when you look at the point of view from them, they have experience, they're advising you something. So always take those criticism or feedback in a very open mind. Now, institute has a very important role in developing those skills also. They have to create certain role models to whom a student can follow. The role models can be alumni, they can be teachers, they can be visiting faculties or people who have done something and they can inspire or encourage those students. And that's what happened to us. Our professors were the role models, and we still remember them. So somehow, it helped me to build a foundation where I can think and go back. At the same time, my thought process have changed big time, because this was a time when I was in Vaishnav Institute, where we were together. We have, a family type of feeling there. Of course, you are in university or you're in college, you have a different atmosphere. And I came from a very small town, Neemuch. So I stayed in Indore, and then it was a different feeling for me. And I used to wonder sometime, because whenever there is a plane going by on the top, it's a very loud noise. And I used to tell myself, one day I'm going to sit in this plane. But that was also one of the process where you think that you have to go somewhere and achieve something. And this plane is going over you, and you're sitting in the college, and you're asking yourself and pinching yourself, is it real? I'm sitting in Management Institute learning management theories, and things are happening. This visiting faculty is coming from different companies, and they are giving us different experiences and different scenarios. And I just pinch myself so many times, and I say, wow, So learning from your institute, these things. And the one thing you're gonna hear a lot from me is value. I always believe we are the product of all values, what we get. So values are achieved or collected in our lifetime from many places. And the biggest temple is your college, school, and university, and your own family. So creating value, or what values we got from Vaishnav Institute, is what we are today, and that's how we reflect. So the role of institute is very important, creating value. And last thing is entrepreneurship skill. A lot of colleges lack that, but at SWIM, we were encouraged to initiate different projects, and that gives us a little bit of knowledge and more confidence towards becoming leader, because leader has the biggest skill, and that is taking initiative, and same time entrepreneurship. So I will, in further talk, I will discuss more on that. But these are the factors which contribute to us from point of view from management or management college, that how we can develop ourselves and how they are developing their future leaders and great students. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal sir, for sharing your experience. Moving ahead, Bharat sir, we would like to know your take on the contribution of established alumni in the development of the institute. Bharat sir.
Okay. As we all agree, and I believe there is no second thought into this thing, that the alumni are a very important part of any institution. The established alumni represent the institution. Actually, they carry the flag wherever they go, and also creates a brand value for the institution. So they are a very critical and important part of the institution. When we talk about the contributions from alumni, I will put it into three ways. It's because sometimes there is a confusion in many people's mindset that alumni are just to do fundraising activities and those kind of things. But for me, there are three ways in which an alumni can actually contribute. We can say that the time, the talent, and obviously the treasure. So I will distribute into three different areas for alumni. And for further elaborating the points, I would say, when we say that, talk about time, obviously time is the most important aspect from a well-established alumni, that yes, if they are giving their time, in what fields they can give or provide their time back to the institute, back to the upcoming students. Maybe they can provide guidance to the new students. They can do knowledge sharing sessions with the students, how they overcome the challenges, because there is always a difference between what we study in the books and what we face in the real life. So the real life challenges vis-a-vis what is the academics of those things, and how to overcome those challenges. We have faced certain things, we have our own experience to share, and we have overcome those challenges. So that's one of the time which alumni can can give it back. The second is the talent, which means with an experience and established alumni platform, we can the college or the institute can find mentorship programs, which will a coaching program for the upcoming students. They will be more than happy to help. I can tell you, because if I have a specific time schedules in which the students can also agree. There's no problem in for an alumni to not even go extensively beyond certain limits and mentor and coach the upcoming students, help them carve their goals. Like I mentioned that what I assume or presume at that point of time may not be the right path or may not be the right approach. I need someone to actually look into things and come back to me, whether it's a positive feedback or a negative feedback. The negative feedback has to be constructed into a manner where it becomes a positive approach to the life. Obviously, the third thing is uh, what do you call the treasure, where alumni can financially help the institution grow, or maybe help in placements, or maybe helping in doing activities which really does not require time and talent directly. So for me, in a nutshell, alumni really play a significant role in area of like networking, coaching, mentorship. They can also do career advices, placements, fundraising. So for a college, a strong alumni network is a very key, and it keeps the institute vibrant, very vibrant. That's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat sir. Vishal sir, same question from you. Can we please know your take on the contribution of established alumni in the development of the institute? Vishal
Um, thank you. Yes, I always believe that anybody you're learning from, and professors are the first thing, and then books, and then alumni bring a lot of practical experience to any institution. And same time, they are the treasure also, because it works both ways. Because alumni is also thankful, have a gratitude for that institution, and alumni also feel that this is my family. And same time, the institution also cherish and take pride, keeping those alumni, under their wings, and under their family. But what they contribute to the institute is, the biggest thing is their knowledge. They share their experience, like how Bharat has shared his journey, how my journey has been. Now, those journey has a lot of factors that can inspire and advise a lot of students to take the right decision. And when you share those knowledge and experience through those alumni, where they have been in different roles, they have done different jobs, and it gives a lot of sense of confidence for the institution as well as the student also who are there, because they have certain role models to rely upon, to learn from them. And even the alumni also create some kind of mentorship program where they can guide those students. So same time, alumni creates a big time value to the institution, and it's a payback time for alumni also, because we are so humble, and it's time to give back. And I think the best way to contribute to institute is sharing our knowledge and experience, and changing people's life and changing lives of the student who are very aspiring. So being a role model, mentorship, sharing experience, knowledge, these are the ways we can contribute to the institute. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal sir. Moving ahead, my next question is to Bharat sir. That according to you, what are the essentials for the holistic development of the students in today's new normal scenario of pandemic COVID-19?
COVID-19, I was sitting with in a management team, making minutes of the report kind of thing. So my MD was just telling to all of us, because it was senior management, so we are quite open with those kind of discussions. He said, going forward, and this was a discussion somewhere happening in, I think, March, the first quarter ending meeting. So he mentioned that in the name of this pandemic, we will see those things which the humankind or the organization has never seen. Even the economics has never seen those kind of things. So be ready for whatever comes to you. Even if it's someone says the moon is coming to Earth in the name of pandemic, we should have to believe it because we cannot challenge the pandemic. There is no solution to the COVID-19 so far we can see in the near future. Coming back to the question, because of this pandemic, let's leave the pandemic thing. Obviously, it's a part of our life nowadays. But as Institute of Learning, I would say we must continue to innovate new ways in our thought processes in our daily life, and we also need to see how we can transfer knowledge to the next generation. So, because when we talk about holistic development, it's not what you go get it from academics only. You can also get it from your professors, seniors, real life experiences. Despite the disruptive, corollary of this pandemic on a student's life, obviously every student is worried. What is the scenario, economic scenario, or the global scenario during this pandemic? Where is the job placements happening? What are the companies doing? And all those things will happen. Institute should also strive to support student growth and well-being in a balanced way. And then, I believe in the focus on specialized domains in which students can seek to gain mastery on those things, like critical thinking processes, soft skills has to be developed, problem solving skills has to be developed, and also not neglecting other soft skills which are definitely been required by every student in the thing. Let me give an example. I was reading somewhere from 2015 till 2019, before this pandemic, hit us. Typically, in the education sector and where social and economic changes happen, the question was what kind of competencies is required by today's students, and those require like knowledge, skills. You see, how should be the attitude of the student, what should be the values of the student. But during this pandemic and going beyond, because I cannot see this pandemic is going to over soon, maybe something else will also be coming somewhere. So the question from what has changed on how to design learning environments that can actually create competencies or nurture the students, and then how to implement uh, such skill set effectively into the life scenarios of the student. In fact, if we talk about organizations also move from where they were and where the future is looking. For example, when we see earlier organizations were too authoritative, team oriented, like specific, task oriented, and everything. Now, the organization structure which I see will be flat structure, flexible, open. When we say flexible, we have seen work from home culture. That now after this pandemic, everyone is sitting work from home. But now the work from home will change to work from anywhere kind of thing. That it does not require, it just require connectivity to the organization, and then you can move ahead. So dynamics are changing. We have to be as an individual and as an institute. We have to be very flexible and dynamic into setting the curriculum, setting up the skill sets, preparing the students with the right competencies. So, and I can say that there is no right or wrong approach here, but we can only define a best fit approach, which is depending on that point of time. So we can say that this approach was not best fit maybe in 2018, but with the changing scenarios, there is a best fit approach now and maybe down the line for 2 years. The approach has to be dynamic and agile to be adaptive and changeable in a changeable environment. That's my take on this thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat sir, for sharing your opinion. Vishal sir, can you please share your opinion on the essentials for the holistic development of the students in today's new normal scenario of pandemic?
Absolutely. First of all, we need to know that what is holistic development. And I just Googled the holistic development definition. I'm going to read it for you. Holistic development is a practical approach to a comprehensive learning system where physical, social, emotional, mind, and spiritual growth is taken care. Now, how a student will know all those things, or been exposed to all those important factors, which are the main foundation for his all life. And that is holistic approach. And it's a wonderful word, I love this word. And I think this is the most important development of any individual human being, is a holistic development. Because we can get our PhDs and we can get a lot of knowledge in any field, and it makes us very smart in that field. But the whole life is not about that knowledge, what you have or what you learn. The whole life is about holistic development, because these are the factors which will involve when you deal with people day-to-day life, or when you deal with people in in your lifetime, or dealing with a company, or dealing with family or wife or kid or boss or anybody. These are your foundation, and I'm going to come back to that. So it says physical development, social development, emotional development. Now, holistic development for a student, and if you talk about major institute, they are really well known, like Harvard or Oxford or IIMs and IITs. And I put, swim in those categories where I learned a lot. So how those institutes are different, because they have adopted certain strategies, and they realize that just giving theoretical knowledge is not enough. You have to develop those leaders or those students for future practical livelihood, how they can live happily. And I heard, or I read an article also, that in certain universities, session on happiness were sold out. Sold out means booked, fully booked, Harvard or somewhere. So people are moving towards happiness, and students should know that why happiness is important, why emotional development is important, why social development is important. And I think it becomes a very important aspect, and it becomes an important moral responsibility for any institute to look into this holistic development education system, or some kind of teachings they can give. Because the more technological based society we are becoming more self-centered, where we are less social. And the impact of less social is depression. So how a person can be depressed in a wonderful company, wonderful job, doing amazing, and they're still depressed? Why? Because they're less social. And if these values have been injected at the time when they are in college, university, or with the family and their upbringing, they will know the value that technology can help us to a certain aspect, or certain place or certain time. But the social aspect, the emotional aspect, is always there for me to help me when I need it. So holistic development is super important, just not for student, for us also, at every point of our time. And it's important. So and spiritual growth is very important. I'm going to finish on this. I'm going to take 30 seconds more. Everything will come back to love. And institute, college, university, and families need to understand the process of love. They need to teach and feed that what is love. Less criticism, less hatred, and more love. And this can be part of the curriculum also, that they have to teach, guys, show the love, show the affection. Respect is something else, but love is more than that. And when you have these holistic development, or those factors in your personality, when you go and work, when you go and live your life, you will look at your employees, your boss, your colleagues, in a very different way, where you have love for them, you have affection for them. And that will help you to retain the job, retain the employees, and create value in that company, where you can come up with something which you never thought of, because you have love in your heart, and you have love for the company, you have love for your employees, you have love for your institute, you have love for your colleagues. So I think holistic development is the most important factor, not for the student, for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As you both are working abroad, considering the global scenario in today's new normal of pandemic, according to you, what are those skills by which our participants can grab opportunities in present and post-pandemic time? Bharat sir.
Okay, I can tell you that there are two things. Whether you are working abroad or whether you are working in India, the dynamics of organization almost remains the same. Few things here and there. Obviously, it depends on the local environment and the culture how things are being taken. But professionally, things has to be based on things like on some skill set which are required whether you are working in any part of the world. So as I mentioned into my earlier response that because of this pandemic, we have never seen situations or we have to come out with things which no one has expected. So that's one of the skill set which I would always say that uh, quick adoption into the environment is one of the skill set which everyone looks into things. We can talk about multiple skill sets and everything. So there are n number of things which you can say that communication, teamwork. In fact, new norms are coming up with negotiations. How you can pursue, how you can pursue your colleagues and the boss and surrounding. You also need problem solving skills. All this, I don't want to go into those academics. Everyone knows problem solving skill, analytical skill, leadership, commitment. I can just go on and go on with those words, but looking at the scenarios, what I feel when I came over here in Nigeria, in India, as I mentioned, that there are some specific environmental factor which impacts. When I used to work in India, even in fact, I before coming here, I was working with Deutsche Bank in India. So the thing is, I was very specific to a domain. That okay, this is your domain, and that's how you want to carry out your job functions, and that's what your KRI and KPIs are based on. Now, looking into when I joined over here, there was a bit of change in my thought process and understanding. Here, when I joined as a senior management professional over here, it's not only expected me to look into my specific domain. I was also required to look into where other things are moving around the banking industry. So not only from a cyber or information security perspective, I have to also adopt myself to those kind of changes. They also ask me to understand how market risk is working, how my operational risk is working, what are the dynamics of my digitization on the bank, what will happen if retail banking has this kind of operations and how it will impact on the banking industry. I also need to look sometimes into financials. That okay, there is a concept I can tell you, and it's a very good concept I learned over here. Any senior management profession is allowed to set his or her own budget. And when you prepare a budget, it's not a budget what you are going to spend on technology and everything. You are even asked to calculate per square foot of your space rented. Then you need to say that this is what I'm going to spend. This is what my earnings are. What is my cost of fund? How much I am going to earn if this is going to be, I'm acquiring a solution. I have to distribute the solution to 10 different teams. Because at the back office side, there is different understanding how you manage funds. I always have seen that back offices are like, I'm always into a spending spree. The budget is always like my OPEX, my operating budget, and the CAPEX budget is what I'm always managing. The thing I've learned over here is not only OPEX and CAPEX, you have to also, incorporate the things which goes out of my pocket or come in, how I can say that this is what I'm earning as a back office to me as well. So I would say that, skill set which requires within the dynamics of the new changes, more or less those skill sets remain the same, but with the new trend, you need to, how companies are looking for people who are, resilient. who has good analytical skills, who don't get into management ambiguity kind of thing. Their perseverance and motivational kind of thing. How confident they are. In fact, leadership skill, obviously, these are the combination of things which I can tell you are being looked now. Maybe it's because of the level or things, but even when I what do you call it, when I assess my own team member at the year end for their appraisals and everything, these are the skills that I'm used to look into those things. I give them feedback based on these skills. That means they are preparing leaders from the base. They're not waiting for them to get to a certain level and then show leadership quality. The leadership quality starts and grooming and mentoring starts from the base, so that by the time they reach over there, they're already carved into a specific kind of model. That's what I can tell you from my own perspective.
Thank you so much, Bharat sir, for sharing your thoughts. Vishal sir, same question to you. That in your perspective, what are those skills by which our participants can grab opportunities in present and post-pandemic time? As you were already
Okay.
talking about skills, so we would like to know from you, sir.
Sure. I'm going to discuss those skills which will give you opportunity every time, not just in this pandemic time, because this is the time where you are going in self-actualization mode, where you're trying to find more about yourself, and a lot of good things are happening, and people are thinking sky is falling. But there's the one way of looking at the scene. But I believe a lot of time to retrospect, in last 4 or 5 months people had, where they said, what is important. And anybody you talk to them now, they say, you know what, my me time, my self time is more important, my family is more important. Everything was there before, but after pandemic things have changed because the fear is there. And in our lifetime, the biggest fear is fear of death, and everybody knows, but you have to get out of that fear. And then you look at around and you say, you know what, where I can spend my time, because sooner or later we realize the most important commodity we had as a human being was time. And how I spent that time. Did I complain in that time? Did I criticize in the time? Did I hate people in that time? Did I hurt people in that time? What did I do with that time? Did I love those people in the time? Did I learn service, charity, or communication skills, or leadership skills, or entrepreneurship, or initiative, or my bucket list? What did I do with the time? And I think this kind of pandemic, gives you those retrospect moments where you say, you know what is important for me? Because we always say, oh, this is only one lifetime and you have to do this, and there's one lifetime and one lifetime. But now they are realizing what is one lifetime is, because the reality is in front of you, and it will always be there. It will come and go, things are there. But going back, when you want to grab an opportunity, you have to have a right mindset. So a person who we think doesn't have a skill can be a PM of a country, and we think, oh, the guy did not have any skill and he was selling tea. But in his mind, he had a lot of skills. Or maybe, I'm just giving an example where this person become a role model for all of us, and he has given us so much of inspiration. Just an example. Or Mr. Kalam, how he never, at that time he had a lot of scarcity, and he rose. So we have inspiration all around us all the time. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I would advise all the students that don't try to look around what we need. It's always there. Make a list of 10 inspirational people who have inspired you, or the world, or the country, and read their autobiography, and you will learn the skills from them. You say, I want to be like Mukesh Ambani, and there are two brothers. Both were given the same wealth, and one has messed up and the other one has built up. And I always ask myself, what I don't want to do, follow this guy. And God bless both of them. But it's okay to fail also. It's okay to, lose also. It's okay to not know certain things. It's okay. You don't have to worry that, oh, this student or this person has a lot of skills and I don't have. It's okay, because you're unique. So opportunities are always there, and I will tell students that any problem you see, if you have a mindset of looking at as an opportunity, you will learn a lot. So for example, pandemic is a problem. Well, I encourage all the students to look for the ways to find different entrepreneurship skills, because you all want to work for companies, or I always wanted to work for a big company. But did I contribute anything? No. I have contributed a little bit, and I worked in my own mindset. It's good to work for any company or whatnot. But I always believe that what I wanted to do was self-employed entrepreneurship venture. That's what I always wanted to do. So this type of pandemic gives you a lot of time to explore opportunities. And I always, and my talks are coming just to inspire a student that, guys, you will have these kind of moments in your lifetime. And it's amazing that you are so fortunate to witness this, because you can prepare yourself that, yes, I have seen the worst. I have seen the worst. I'm fine with it. Let me focus on what I have, what opportunities I can explore from it. India has very less entrepreneurship skill rate. And why it is? Because everybody wants to work. You want to work and make Ambani's and other guys rich. God bless them. They're creating a lot of value in our society. But why don't you be like them? Or why don't you like anybody who can create 2 or 3 or 4 jobs? So I believe entrepreneurship is one of the best skill a person can learn. Or entrepreneurship ka matlab hai taking initiative and fail or pass. Either you succeed or either you fail. But take initiative. Become something, take initiative. When you take initiative, either you will fail or you will succeed. But if you fail, you learn, and you learn what not to do, and then you again try. Again, as Bharat said, communication. Communication is very important, but how? Everybody says communication is important. But how can I become a better communicator? Vocabulary. If you have a right words to express your feelings, you can be the best communicator in the world. You can express your feeling with the right words, चाहे वो हिंदी के हो, चाहे इंग्लिश के हो, और चाहे किसी और लैंग्वेज के हो. How you can become a better communicator? Again, you need to learn books. And again, I want to go back and inspire all the students to learn and read books every single day. And even if one student can take this tip, they can change their life. If you learn 1 book a week, that means 52 books a year. 1 book has 10 to 20 years of experience. You are adding how many thousands of years of experience in your knowledge, you don't know. I love reading books because in my mind, someone wrote a book with 10, 20 years of experience, and I got that knowledge within a week. I cannot grasp all of it, but I can pick some of it. And that some of it changed my life. So communication can only be fixed or improved or learned or can be better when you read, when you express, and when you take people's experience and you learn from their failures and success both. Now, many times, we have a lot of skills also, and I have a lot of clients who are in IT. IT is booming, cloud computing, cyber security. These are the major factors right now, giving a lot of employment. And if you want to go in marketing or something else, then you can again look at the successful people and see what skills they are following, what jobs are there. But students are smart enough to find out that what job is, in the market need, what kind of skill. But everybody or majority of people are lacking either the basic skills. And basic skill is how to express yourself, how to solve a problem. When you are, given a situation, how not to lose or how not to react in a way that it shows up negative, how not to criticize, how to give a feedback. These are the things or skills students need, where they can put their point in a way that the other person is not offended, and same time you're able to give your point of view. So these are the skills I would say, a student should focus on. And again, I'm going to close on this, and I'm going to finish on this, that close means this question, that any problem you see in life is an opportunity. And it works very well for me when I had nothing, when I have something, or when I have everything. You have to look at the way that what I have and what I can do with it. And same time, if I'm sitting in Canada, I wanted to do something and I end up here. I saw some opportunity, I moved up here and I worked. Of course, we miss our motherland, but that's what I chose. So anything you choose can happen when you look at opportunity side. And in the end, surround yourself with the people who inspire you, the people who believe in you. Students need to figure out those opportunities, because opportunities are always there with you. But when the inspiration is lacking, the opportunity will be missed, because you won't see that as an opportunity. You will see that moment, that that event as an failure, or you will see that event as a problem, but you won't see it as an opportunity. So your surrounding has a lot to do with your mindset. And same time, we don't have to prove to nobody in our life. And once you know that you don't have to prove nothing to no one, the only thing you are here for to learn, become better. Whatever job we are doing, we are becoming better every single day. And that's it. So make yourself better, learn good books, inspire yourself with people. Like when I was listening to Bharat, he inspired me because, sitting on a certain position, controlling certain things, learning those skills, 20 years of experience, these are the things which inspire you. Many more when you know the person. But when you don't know the person, you limit yourself. And that's what we want. You need to know the people around you. You need to know your professors. You need to know the faculties. You need to know the alumni, their background. It's not just the degrees. Me and Bharat, degree is a very small part of our life, our personality. What made us, Vishal and him, is our skills in our journey, what we believe, So your belief system has to be, explored, that what I believe, who I am. I get agitated every time. I get scared every time. I criticize everybody. I look at the negative side. I pick on people. This is who am I? Or I look at the positive side. I try to help people. I go extra mile. I create value in my class. I create value in my family. I create value in my friendship. I create value with my relationship with my husband and wife, or even the girlfriend, because that girlfriend can be your wife. So are you creating the value there? When you have these small habits or skills, it will help you all your life. Again, you are learning those subjects, but that will just give you a job. But when you cherish the job, when you learn those skills, you will enjoy the job. You say, you know what? I love this. Why? Because I'm creating value here. So end of the day, these are the skills we need to do, but I'm going to end on it. Please read a lot of books. It will change your lives, because your value creation will start from your, inspiration, who you inspired you. You can get a book from Gandhi. You can get a book from Mr. Kalam, Modi ji, or anybody who inspired you, Steve Jobs, or anybody, because those experiences are 10 or 20 or 30 years of experience, and you're getting in weeks and days. How lucky we are. And we have YouTubes now. You can have audiobooks. You have a lot of, audiobooks are available on YouTube free of charge. Get a habit of value creation in you. If you can take something from this session today, I urge and I respect you that change yourself just 15, 20 minutes a day. Follow a philosophy of Ikigai, Kaizen, Gita, Bible, whatever inspire you, Nurhan Sahab, Sukhmani Sahab, get a philosophy from there and adopt it, because these are the values you will cherish in long run. You all will have a good job, you will get a job, but after a while you will be somewhere unsatisfied in your mind and heart, and you say, you know what, I'm not content. And that's why we are social animal, but the society has made us to get a job, and we have to go and get a job and work. But life is more than that, a job. And that's what I learned when I moved around to different countries and met a lot of different people and different backgrounds, that the most happiest person right now at this moment is a person who has nothing, because he don't have fear of losing anything. Now, can you be like him? No, you want to have all of it. When you have all of it, you need to learn how not to get attached with it. Then you will be away from the fear of losing a job, fear of losing of materialistic stuff and everything. But at the same time, when you create value, all those fear goes away, and then you become better in your job and in your relationship and everything. So please read 15-20 minutes a day, or listen something, and get a habit morning, evening, and that will help you so much to make you or who you can become, or better yourself. You can be far better who you are. And till the end of our life, we will learn from each and everybody, or from even nature or from our surrounding. But how can we get better day by day? That's what our focus should be. So students, please start reading, following some good books, and start looking good in things. Please don't talk negative. Please don't criticize. Please don't insult. You are not made for this. We are not made for that. Please don't hate. Respect, love, and affection. I haven't seen a lot of students touching teachers' feet. Start doing that. Anytime you see a teacher, go and touch their feet. What's wrong with that? It shows the power of gratitude. How many people have gratitude today? We all are fighting with our egos. And how we get these egos? We get it from school, colleges, where our surrounding is, we want to show off, we want to do certain things. Get out of this ego thing. Start giving love and affection. Go and hug your student friends and give them love and affection. Show respect, faith, all those things. And that's what I believe will help you in long run. That will give you a lot of value you can create in your family also when you grow up, and when you have your own family and your own kids also. Because somewhere in our life, we always feel that something is lacking. And that something is this, that we wanted to do more, and we end up doing something which we know in our heart that we deserve more, we could have done far more, and now we can do that. So please start reading good books and following some good videos, make some role models, make some vision board, make some goals, stick it in your wall, and follow it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishal sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts. Moving towards the last question for today's session. It is said that challenges are meant to be met and overcome. Both of your success is an evidence of this. Bharat sir, can you please share your experience of combating the challenges during your professional journey?
This is something I always say. Okay, fine. That's where the experience should start. But before I start, I will go back to Vishal, and I will say thank you, Vishal. I left my habit of reading almost like 3 years back. I used to have have a novel or any book related to cyber security and things, and I used to keep my pencil and sometimes a dictionary as well along with me. So three things always, wherever I travel, I always used to carry this thing. But sooner or later, I get hooked to Netflix, Amazon, and that habit has gone. But I will go back again, start it again. Thank you so much, Vishal. I will start reading my things back to the track again. Thank you. So coming back to the question, as I started, how I started my journey was I was into, typically I have a technical background, but I was when I was in SCIN, National Institute. So I had inclination towards marketing, towards other field finance as well. But then, destiny and fate has something something for you. So I ended up again back into technology. So the thing I would say that I just keep me up and running is how I adopt to the changing environment, how I can, quickly adopt to the requirement of time. When we talk about this thing, there is a new concept which comes like transferable skills. If I can elaborate more, there are certain skill sets, which is required as an individual for you in every field, whether you are working in technical field, non-technical field, whatever you say, you require those skill sets, and those skill sets are transferable skills: leadership, communication, good writing skill, analytical skills. You require these skills in any field of the time. So from my own experience, this is very much required and helped me in during a professional journey. Sometimes getting along with your peers, and I typically give practical examples on this thing. Every one of us at the initial stage of life is always aspiring to have a good company, good job, and then wherever the first opportunity comes to us, there are two things: either we grab it or we wait for another opportunity. So unless and until you discuss with your peers openly, like I have still from my batchmates, we are still in touch, and many of them are sitting in Middle East, US, UK, Europe, Australia, everywhere. My batchmates are everywhere, and we actually meet once in a month typically. So we share our thought processes during our job and everything. This is a very, very good thing. Every student should cater to. When you are in the college, you make good friends, but keep that friendship open. Don't close it from any one side, and that gives you understanding of how things work into different environments. For example, I can tell you sometimes I used to have getting offers, and I used to discuss my offers in my initial days with my friends, and I'm telling you from my practical experience that some of the HR points, those have been pointed to me, and I get back to the HR that no, this particular terms and condition is against what I don't want it. It helps me in understanding how you can get whether this particular job, are you looking only for money, or are you looking only for uh, getting a job, or you want a holistic satisfaction in terms of money and in terms of performing on a job and everything. So I have learned into those ways. I have sometimes looked back into few of my professional colleagues who are back in time given me good advices. So when you're in a professional journey, you need to keep track of each and everything. Learning is not what you call from self experiences only. You can learn from anyone, anywhere. I can tell you, many of us can relate things. These days when we were kids, we don't even know how a computer would have been worked like. I can never even assume that there should be a device called iPhone or iPad kind of thing. Now, when my kids are working on those things, they will come and tell me, Papa, look at this thing. This is how it works, and that's a learning process. I have a set target for myself. I complete for last 8 years. I always set myself to complete two professional certificates in a year. That's it, and I have done it. I have followed that particular ideology that I have to complete two professional certificates in a year. From last 8 years, if I see myself and previously, almost I have like 15, 16, 16 plus certificates, professional certificates, whether it's like project management, Prince 2, agile development, and it keeps me up and running. Two things I have learned from a professional thing: don't get staggered, be agile, and always keep a mindset of learning. If you don't learn, whether in within your domain or outside your domain as well, your mind will get staggered. You get into a comfort zone. Once you are into a comfort zone, that's where people will start falling down, and then people will say, "Oh, I'm not getting benefit from my life, from my job. I'm not satisfied with my job." They will start comparing themselves with their peers, where the other peer is performing or not performing. In professional life, there are multiple challenges, but you need to be dynamic. You need to have those kind of positive mindset. If you don't keep those kind of positive mindset, it's hardly difficult. As I mentioned that I have started into technology. I started with, I started my background is consulting. I used to consult few banks from a third party in Indore itself. Then from there I jumped into media houses where I jumped into network engineer. From there I jumped into server admin. But at that point of time, I said no, I want to take a job, challenging job where I don't want to be a Windows server admin. I became a Linux. I actually learned that skill for 3 months in a row. I get certified myself within 3 months, and I had a job immediately after that. From there, I started again, looking into something different. That's where I got into banking sector. So from there, I am continuously somewhere around 2006. I'm continuously into banking sector. There, I understand how bank security works, because when you are into banking environment, you don't only learn how my network router is working, how my this firewall is working, how I'm going to save things for the bank. It's not that. You have to understand overall requirement from a business perspective as well. Because you can, in a banking, the first thing first, in my, like, for example, I'm the CISO. So if I'm go and tell that I want to implement this control to secure customer funds, that's my point of view. But what I have learned is I have to say that security and business should go hand in hand. I cannot say that even many of us sitting over here, if I put a control that when a customer, as a customer or banking customers, and these days we are using internet banking or mobile banking or something like that. So if we start using 10 kind of authorization before actually my transaction happens, I will start saying that I don't want to use this banking application. I just want to jump to a bank where I have only two secured steps, and then I will conclude my transaction. Business, understanding of business, and then you understand how your domain is fitting into the business requirement. Because ultimately, if business grows, everyone will grow. What we say is, from back office perspective or from a front office perspective, once the money comes into the business, then only we'll get our salaries. That's a very simple and understandable layman's language concept. So whichever domain we are working, we need to understand, even for example, if a CFO is there, for the sake of discussion, if the CFO is there, CFO will say that I just want to save money. I will start saying no to every technology initiative, or I want to say no to every business initiative. What will happen? The CFO will say that, okay, fine, in my accounting book, I have saved millions of dollars, but at the end, I have lost my 100 million customers. From where the millions of dollars which I saved would have become billions of dollars. So understanding of business is very necessary. Whichever field you are working, and keep continuously updating yourself. That's one of the things I always follow in my life. As I mentioned, I keep, even I have a set target within next 2 months. I'm going to get a certification exam. I already booked for it. I'm studying for it. So the thing is, unless I'm not studying, I cannot, understand what is happening surrounding to me. I cannot understand what is globally impacting the businesses. I cannot understand what people's requirement is, what is the, and we need to, from a professional perspective, we need to always be interactive. I don't, if you see any what you called any CISO in India, and I have seen this challenge in India. The CISOs typically in India does not interact with customer. The challenge over there is I as a CISO will start recommending things which customer does not want. Here, I have seen when in your previous question, when you say what is the difference between working in India and working over here, I have to, once in a quarter, I have to go out into a branch as a senior management professional, and I have to interact with people at the ground level who are coming into the banking halls and try to understand that what are the challenges. I have to sell to them that yes, these are the products why you are not using, and then you will get the feedback. Sometimes customers are irate. They will start shouting on you. They will say, no, your bank is not working this, your bank is not working that. But now you need to again go back to a different marketing executive position into that. You have to say, okay, sir, I will do this thing, and madam, I will do this thing. you cannot just shout that, okay, I'm a senior management person, I don't care, just go to hell. Sorry to use this kind of word, but these things will never work. Professionally, adaptive, learning abilities has to be done, and keep reading this. This is what I always understand and discuss. Unless I discuss things with my family, with my parents, I discuss even these days. If I want to do any single thing in terms of finances, I always go back to my father. I discuss sometimes with my colleagues, my batchmates, who are still my good friends. Sometimes I discuss with my professional colleagues over here in Nigeria because I came over here as an expat. But there are different situations which I may not be able to understand unless I discuss from a local person, and then I will get different view of things. Collaboration, discussion, learning are required from professional perspective. And my take is that yes, you need to keep evolving. Evolving is necessary. Dynamism is necessary. Keep changing, keep adopting. That's what makes you a successful person as an individual and as a professional both. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bharat sir. Vishal sir, we would like to know your experience of combating the challenges during your professional journey. Vishal sir.
Thank you. I always, believe that anytime you want something, you have to go through a journey. So let's say the kids who are listening to us right now, they're going through a journey, but right now they have so much of uh, thoughts going around in their mind. They say, what's going to happen? I'm doing online study. After this, am I going to get a good job? Am I going to get pass? I'm going to get some good grades. Kitna percentage aayega? Which university I'm going to go again? If I need to go for my PhD, what I'm going to do? Or if I need to get a job, which company is going to hire me? What's going to happen? So these insecurity questions, people are always fighting with those, and especially students. When I was like them, I used to go through the same thought process that the uncertainty is there. Now, I would like to advise each and every student as well as everyone that future is unknown, and we worry for future which is unknown. We get anxious for something which is unknown. When you don't know nothing, worry or anxiousness or it's not going to take you nowhere. But what are you doing with that time? And the time can be used for, as Bharat said, for evolve and for learn and for reading and all those things. So personally, what were my challenges? I need to see mere challenge kya the. So when I came to Sri Vaishnav Institute, what was my challenge? My challenge was to pay my fees. That was my challenge, 3,000 rupees per semester. So I got a job, and I did not borrow any money from my parents, and they did help me later, but I did not want to. And then I got a job. So that was my challenge, to get a part-time job. Why I'm sharing this, that many students go through a lot of scenarios and they say, what is my challenge here? Now, when I get graduated from bachelor's and I went to Bombay, what was my challenge? I need to look for accommodation, look for a good college, and get a job again. Somehow I got all of it. Then what was my challenge? I wanted to excel and wanted to go somewhere abroad and get higher education. What was my challenge? Money, admission, and accommodation, and all those things. Again, I got that. Then again, challenge, job. Now, why I shared this is, in those challenges, one thing worked very well, and that was gratitude. So I have this book I share with everybody, that have a gratitude journal. So this gratitude journal, you can get it from Amazon. It's like $2-3 or $5, or you can get it, or you can make your own. So gratitude journal is basically what you are thankful for. When you put something in your mind that you are thankful for, certain friendship, certain teachers, college, university, mom, dad, family, then those worries fade away, and then the mind process becomes more positive. And I'm sharing this because this is what I did. I was always thankful whatever I wanted in my life. And I'm going back to the same basics right now because I want more, I want to be better. And to get something, you have to be thankful. So when we have gratitude, the challenges become easier because you're thankful. First thing. The second thing is, when you read a lot of books and when you see a lot of successful people, there is many common things you can find in them. They all had challenges. Your mom, dad has challenges. Me and Bharat and Mr. Thomas or Namrata ji or Chatterjee professor, all of us has challenges. But if we won't have those challenges, we won't be better today. He won't be sitting there, I won't be sitting here if we won't have challenges. When we have comfortable life, somehow our behavior doesn't let us grow. And that is a challenge. So the biggest challenge is not having a challenge. So if you don't have a challenge, if you don't have a problem, something is wrong with you. Because challenging problems are opportunity. That means you are doing something with your life. And I did a lot of positive self-affirmation with myself. I used to talk. मैं अपने आप से बात करता था. लोग बोलते पागल है ये, अपने आप से बात करता रहता है. But I used to motivate myself. Even now, also, last night I was talking to myself. I assume I'm sitting in front of people and I'm talking and doing something and inspiring and giving whatever. It's called visualization. Guys, we are coming from a land that is thousands and thousands of years old, values and culture created there. Please reap those values. From Western society, people go and get peace of mind and satisfaction and contentment fundamentals from India. Please explore what you have around you. Again, materialism is just one factor and India is going towards it. Western country already had it and they didn't achieve nothing. Everything come back to values, gratitude, peace of mind, your culture, a lot of things. So those things will help you in challenges. And always remember, the day you will realize that these challenges will make me a better person, those challenges will become opportunity in your mind. And never react right away for anything. Any student who is listening to me, please don't get agitated. Don't react right away. Prepare yourself for situations. Prepare yourself for exams. Prepare yourself for interviews. Prepare yourself for, mock interviews. And see, internet has given you everything. Whatever we are talking, it's already there. But what you're getting from us is a value and the relationship, emotions, what we've been through, because technology cannot give you emotions when you get it from people. And that's what we alumni can give you. We can give you emotional experience of what we have done and how you can take advantage of it. So I have faced challenges, but it depends what type of challenges. But let's say in educational field, when I wanted to excel, there were different challenges. I tried to excel them because I wrote down my goals. And same time, I'm going to finish on it actually, that each and everyone, please make a list what you want from your life. And this materialistic list you have, make a list what you want for yourself, for your personality. And please add these things in your list. Charity, helping people, loving people for no reason, giving back for no reason, develop a faith. You have to be God-fearing. If you are God-fearing, you will fear certain things which will help you to grow. You will not do bad things. So be God-fearing. We, after achieving certain things, our ego comes in between and it doesn't let us grow. And that is a problem, guys. When you think you know everything, you become topper in the class, you got the best job, you got whatever you wanted, car, house, and whatever, and you stop growing. Be a God-fearing, guys. God-fearing helps you to create a faith system, because I've been through where for 10 years, 15 years, I forgot who is God. I don't know. And when I was in India, I used to do puja morning and evening. And again, now I'm back. So value creation has a lot to do with it. Faith, be God fearing, have a belief system. You have to have a belief in something. And that belief is tomorrow is going to be better. When you believe it, then why you worry? Just work for it. But the last and least, last not the least is always do your karma. That means what you meant to do, you have to do it. Nothing is going to come back to you. That means if your job, that is your karma, do it with passion. My job is selling insurance. In India, my job can be taken as a Bima agent. I'm here for like 15, 20 years. I'm a state planner. We have different terminology. But a guy who's selling a life insurance in India, and my job is exactly same. But I do it in a very different way, but exactly same. When I do this job, I don't need degrees what I've done. But that has added in my value who I am today. But this job has given me everything because I wanted to be self-employed. And why I'm discussing this, because when I do this job, in my mind, I serve the community. I say, I want to do charity. I don't have money. Well, you don't need money to do charity, guys. Help people. Help your friend. Help your institution. Find ways to help them. Because these things will help you in your organization where you excel, or you have your own organization where you have people working under you and you excel. So habits are very important. And that's why. So when you deal with people, think you're dealing with a soul which is immortal. You're going to love that soul. There is no hatred. Religious is very good thing as long as we follow it with God-fearing way. And that's what I learned from my own challenges. But going back, positive talk is very important. Good books, making your goal chart, vision board. Before you sleep, close your eyes for 5 minutes and visualize your day, how you want it to be tomorrow. It will start happening because you're preparing your mind. And now it helps me, even my kids also, that any challenges is going to come, you prepare for the worst and best both, and then your reaction will be the way you want it to be. If something suddenly comes to you, spontaneous, your reaction will be spontaneous, but your reaction should be planned. How it will be planned? Your mind will be at peace. When your mind is at peace, you're prepared, and you don't have to be, worry about. So this question was phrased in a way to help all of you listeners that these guys have certain challenges, how they came through. I came through a lot of obstacles. I wanted a lot of things which I achieved. I got it. But my quest for myself improvement become more and more. So eventually it will come to you also the same way, that you will achieve a lot of things, but you will come back to yourself and you say, you know what? I want better. I want more because this is not enough for me. And it will come back to self-improvement, guys. So students who are listening to me, start following something good today. Get a habit. Challenges will always be there because that will give you opportunities. Me and Bharat and Mr. Thomas and many more, we all face our challenges, family, jobs and whatnot, because end of the day, when you look back, those challenges gave us so much of opportunity that we become what we are because of those opportunities and overcoming those challenges. So sorry, I did not give a precise point, but I concluded in many, many factors. And in the end, I would like to request that please read a lot of books. Like my table, I have this compounding return book, then a message from masters from different author and whatnot. But all this gives you some kind of reaffirmation that life is good. We are meant to love each other, guys. We are meant to enjoy this life. Worry is never be a part of this living. We are not supposed to worry, but we worry. So get away from this habit. And this session is becoming more of a spiritual, but this is who I am, guys. So enjoy, and it was a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishal sir. Thank you so much, Bharat sir, for your valuable words. And I'm sure that the participants of this session must have learned a lot from informative and knowledgeable experiences of yours. From here, I request Ms. Khushbu Jain to continue further. Khushbu ma'am.
Thank you so much, Abhigati ma'am. And thank you so much, Vishal sir and Bharat sir. As it is said that well prepared is half done. So we see ahead this first session of the series as a well begun start, and we'll try our best to bring forth such knowledgeable sessions in future for under the Samavesh series. And I'm really thankful to both of you that apart from the soft and hard skills, you have focused much on the life skills also. Thank you so much for that. Now, I call Dr. Namrata Soni for proposing the vote.
Thank you, Khushbu ma'am. Very good evening to our most valued alumni, Mr. Bharat Soni and Mr. Vishal Trivedi, Dr. George Thomas, Director, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, Dr. Arvind Singh, Joint Registrar, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya, Dr. Shama Patankar, Head, Department of Computer Science, Dr. Abhijit Chatterjee, Head, Department of Management, faculty colleagues and participants. I, Dr. Namrata Soni, take this privilege to propose for first alumni online session of Samavesh, sharing wisdom for nurturing values and skills. Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, I extend an effusive vote of thanks to Mr. Bharat Soni for gracing your valuable, important sharing the findings and opinions. Thank you, Bharat sir. At the outset, I also thanks to Mr. Vishal Trivedi for sparing his valuable time and sharing his knowledgeable experience and opinions with us. Thank you, Vishal sir. I also extend my most sincere thanks to Dr. George Thomas, Director, Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, for his guidance on each and every stage of organizing the today's session. Without his support, these events would not have been possible. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We all are most grateful to Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya for his valuable inputs to make this event an effective one. Thank you, sir. Especially thanks to Dr. Shama Patankar, Head, Department of Computer Science, for her unfleeting support and coordination, which resulted in the flawless execution of today's event. She acted as a backbone and support system for the team. Thank you so much, ma'am. I also extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Abhijit Chatterjee, Head, Department of Management, for his valuable support for framing this successful event. Thank you, sir. Extend my sincere thanks to the moderator, Dr. for drawing out illuminating experiences of our proud alumni. Thank you, ma'am. A special thanks to Dr. Kamlesh Malpani and Mr. Sachin Chalisgaonkar for their continued support and hard work. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere thanks to our anchor, technical team, and media for smooth production and coverage of the session. Last but not the least, my sincere thanks to all the participants whose participation made these sessions successful and worthy. I also request all the participants to attend further sessions going to get organized in the near future under Samavesh online session series. With these warm words, we move to the end of the today's event. It's been really a great pleasure for SVL family to host today's session. Once again, thank you to all. Have a good day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I express my thanks to the director, George Thomas sir. I want to say thanks to Shama Patankar madam, Abhijit Chatterjee sir. Special thanks to Namrata madam because we were having long discussions.
Yes.
So thanks to everyone.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, yes.
I hope we have, I don't know, like we have fulfilled the expectations from the sessions and upcoming batchmates, I would say, from my college would have been, greatly or whatever, in whatever way they would be immensely, at least get some knowledge out of this thing. So I still, because Petankar madam and Chatterjee sir are still here, so I still expect my project assessment on this madam. I will expect the project assessment numbers.
Great, great.
Thank you, sir.
No,
Thank
no.
you very much.
It was
Thank you
really
so
an
much.
honor listening to both of you, and we'll keep continuing this Samavesh. And like both of you, we have other distinguished alumni who would definitely share their valuable experience. So we'll continue this endeavor, and God bless you, both of you, for really, talking after your heart, not sharing merely your experiences. You are talking
Yes.
after your hearts. So that
Yes.
was really great to hear both of you. So thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. So have a good evening, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll give you a call later sometime, and then we'll get in touch.
Sure. Very
Definitely.
nice.
Okay,
Sure.
Dr. Thomas.
Thank you.
Okay, Pandekar madam,
Okay.
everybody, have a good
Okay.
evening. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Take care,
you.
Bharat. Bharat, be in touch with me.
Thank you.
We'll share.
Sure,
Okay,
sure, Vishal. I will ping you. I will ping you soon. I will get your number from Namrata madam and I will ping you.
Okay, get in touch. Cheers. Take care.
Sure. Thanks. Take care, everyone. Bye. Stay safe. Yeah, bye.